Capricorn, welcome to Illuminated Tarot. Today I'm here to do a reading for you for November. We're going to take a look at your overall general energy, what you may not see coming, and get some important advice from Spirit. But first, let's get into a few oracle messages. And happy 11/11, energetic gateway, divine alignment, spiritual activation. For everyone who's tuning in on the actual day, set your intentions. I actually just announced my digital detox from social media for the rest of the year. That doesn't include YouTube. Just the the mindless scrolling that I can often do on Facebook or Instagram. Many of you don't already participate, or you gave it up a while ago, but I decided to be nice, to cultivate walking into greater clarity and more presence into 2026 by starting now for the rest of the year. And so I can be a little closer to my loved ones and not have any distractions on my phone. So let's get started with your reading. Just something that I intended, so you may want to sit with that thought and set some sort of intention today for the rest of the year. All right. Thank you, Spirit, for presiding over this reading for Capricorn. And thank you for bearing with me. I've been a little slower getting the monthlies out because I started a channel membership option, and that's been keeping me busy. So if you're curious about that, you can take a look at the link in the description box below. I also have a lot written up on my website about it. It's less of a channel membership, more of a spiritual mentorship program. So let's see what's going on for Capricorn. I'm anxious to see this. You had a phenomenal reading the last time I read for you. Let's see what's going on for November for you all. And last shuffle. Yeah. Top three. Yep. Going through a portal. 11/11. And it is aligning you with greater access to the infinite, which is the great beyond. So you could be gaining greater access. Sometimes when I think of like an infinite portal, like what does that mean? I feel like it's your access to your own greatness and the potential for that. So you could be peering into something that you need to do, think, or embody or become in your mind to set your mindset around what you're trying to activate. And this is a powerful day to do it. This is also a softening. As you can see, the red and the pink surrounding the portal. It's a softening and a surrendering. So we have the portal, access to the infinite. 11/11, I am a temple, holy, divine, and sacred. It's going to be honoring your body in a new way. Some of you are maybe starting different routines, following a different rhythm. We are slowing down during Mercury retrograde. So throughout November, Spirit's saying you have a new portal you're entering into in your own divine embodiment alignment around taking better care of yourself energetically, or spiritually, physically, emotionally, and whatever you're being called to change or moderate or incorporate, this is the time to do it. And if that means just considering your body as a powerful energy and that it has its own intelligence, you are gaining greater alignment with that part of you, with your very own body, which is body love, taking better care of yourself. We have the blue trumpets. Wow, this is a first, Capricorn. This is the first time that I have seen in any reading using this deck, which is a pretty new deck, where you have two esoteric cards in the reading, which are special. Okay. So this is a special honoring, Capricorn, of your ability to have unique building blocks. Some of you are really rebuilding your body, mind, spirit in a way that is gaining access to your greatest potential, to the infinite, to the hidden realms, because this is a real thinning time of the year of dimensions, of realities. And there's a sacred pathway that you're walking at this time, almost like you've heard the call. Now it's time to actually live it and embody it. But you have the building blocks of the universe. So you have what it takes to build something new that is around your own potential, and your own greatness. And the biggest thing that you need to remember as you build this new reality for yourself is to honor that you're walking a sacred path, a holy path, where you need to continue to honor your body itself. Think about it. We're given these bodies as a gift in each lifetime. And some people, myself included at times in my life where I wasn't conscious and I didn't take good care of my body. You know, I wasn't exercising. I wasn't eating well. I was drinking. You know, I had a lot of party time in my 20s. We'll say that. So this could be you just setting intentions too before the holidays to just be mindful and to incorporate really strong routines. So it doesn't mean that you don't enjoy yourself. You just don't overindulge. Because a big part of this energy that we are moving through with the retrograde energy is an overhaul of our North Star, of where we're putting our time, attention, and energy in Sagittarius and reworking that. And then we're moving into Scorpio, which is really about our embodiment. And we're in Scorpio season. So, because the Scorpio really does rule these deeper, like primal energies of the body. So, well, I'm getting a lot from that, but let's move on. Let's move on. So you could just be being more mindful with your discipline, okay? Because we have the eye. And, you know, it's interesting that this came up too, because I was contemplating out of the blue last night as I was stretching before bed, that, you know, you become a whole new being on a cellular level. Sorry if I can't speak, Mercury retrograde. It's a great excuse when I don't speak right. Use it to your advantage. But I am spilling over my words more so this time of year. Thank God it's the last retrograde of the year in Mercury. But anywho, 7 years. Every 7 years, your body is not the same body physically. All right. It's mind blowing that it regenerates every 7 years. So I was like, it never occurred to me that, does this mean age 7, you're in a new body, age 14, you're in a new body? And I started doing the math. I'm like, okay, at 49, new body. So, you know, think about your age and where you are in the rebuilding of your body. And if you were at, this is an interesting concept. I need to go do a deep dive in, like, you know, you don't arrive all of a sudden at a new body, right? But every 7 years it regenerates. So it's a slow roll in regeneration. And that might be a message too in your ability to regenerate and renew your own life and your own body and your own path. It takes time and patience and perseverance, but it's an unending, ever-evolving journey. So if you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself, don't, right? Just make healthy choices, okay? When it comes to your life. Ooh, and I'm looking at choices here. 7 of Cups, choices, crossed by the King. Well, Spirit's backing me up here. Make mindful choices. You have choices, and it's important to be smart about them, because the King of Swords over the 7 of Cups is a matter of having a lot of options, a lot of ways, a lot of things that you can invest in, Capricorn, but make sure you're investing in things that make sense for you, that align with your own truth and integrity. Some of you are really changing how you nurture or don't nurture, take care of yourself in new ways, because your body is telling you to. Let's go into the overall general energy. 5 of Swords. Okay. You've had some conflicts. I think you're looking at it as a whole. You want to learn from the growth edges, and that if you've had tension in your body or tension with others recently, you're learning from it on a deep core level. Okay. Opportunity. The world. Yeah. No wonder I saw it as a big scope. Not a little scope. You've learned from friction. You've learned from tension. You've learned from incongruence and things not feeling aligned. Because that's the 5 of Swords. This and that, we don't jive. It's not cool, right? It doesn't work. So, but you're wrapping up a cycle here around all of this energy, around the choices that you make. Are they in alignment with your truth? And when there's friction, how can you choose to respond differently? to your environment or to what's in front of you. Very interesting, Capricorn. I like this one so far. Very keen. Very keen. All right, let's look at the challenge. Ten of Swords. You're putting something to an end. It's like, I don't want no beef no more with nobody, and it's like, and least of all yourself. And that might be the greatest beef of all. Because you're building, you have the building blocks, right? To rebuild your own self. I think you've been doing that. Rebuilding everything in your life. How you approach your work, how you approach your care, your health care, right? How you approach your mindfulness. I think the people who are most tapped in make the best use of their time, and they stay intentional and they stay aligned and they flow with the energy. So there's a great like graduation reset point going on for you, where the challenge is to not perpetuate any kind of internal conflict or strife with others in the way you respond. Ace of Cups. And how can you keep your heart open through it all? Practice, practice, practice. I think you've had a hard time ending a cycle. And you're in a huge incoming process period of renewal around everything. It feels like a whole different way of life for you. The way you approach your days, the way you approach your relationships, the way you approach your relationship with your work, the way you approach your relationship with your family. See what I mean? Intentional. You're saying, I have choice. And I'm going to be mindful about those choices. Literally, Seven of Cups, King of Swords. And I'm walking a higher timeline, the world. And I'm not going to hold a fatalistic point of view. I am empowered. I'm aligned, and I'm abundant. Full stop. It's very powerful. Four of Pentacles. You're dropping control. Yeah. Especially when you go up against any kind of challenge or obstacle, internal or external. Big, profound lesson I'm seeing, Capricorn. Let's go into, I like what I'm seeing. I can't wait to excavate. I will be excavating your reading soon. And I bring humor. Okay, we have to, right? In the times in which we live, if you don't have humor, it just makes the journey harder. So let's now excavate a little bit more and get some angel numbers. And bear with my voice. I've been purging a lot. All of us this week too. The collective energy is purge, baby, purge. Let go of what needs to be released. Don't hang on to any gunk, even physically gunk, right? If you're feeling a call to eat lighter, move your body, drink more water, whatever it is, we're all getting the codes, right? We're all getting the, the to-dos from the higher intelligence of our physicalities. All right, let's see. Angel messages and numbers for Capricorn. 2222. Which is really, when you think of 1111, it is two twos, right? And it's about our relationship with everything. And I think this is key. You're looking at your relationship with everything. And you're revamping and restructuring and realigning, recalibrating, they call that, right? Recalibration's a big buzzword. What does it even mean, I look at these concepts and I'm like, let's simplify that. It's just staying in alignment, right? Let's see. 222. Feminine forces. Interesting. I really had the Divine Feminine come through yesterday in a reading, and the Divine Feminine wanted to speak, and it had a lot to do with how to approach conflict. And I am going to empower you this month, whenever you're faced with any adversity or challenge, to let go of control, open up your heart, take 5 deep breaths, even in the midst of it, when you're ready to, fire out your rebuttal, right? You're rehearsing it. Stop yourself, check in with your body, relax your body, breathe. Really listen to what the person is trying to say, even if you disagree. Because chances are, a lot of times when we are in any kind of conflict, internal or otherwise, we're shutting off our internal sensing and the deeper truth. And I think that's what you're learning. You're learning as you pause and you start listening with a different ear, not the logical mind, the feminine receptive mind, which is the right side of the brain, left side of the body. It's our creative center. It's our intuitive center. And you can do everything by yourself, Capricorn, but life is to be shared. Partner up with the right spirit and you'll become a force. Honor commitments and people. Don't judge, listen. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Dropping our preconceived notions about who other people are, how they're going to show up. Let them show you. Don't make any assumptions this month. Relationships, balance, prosperity, efficiency, patience, and humility are all highlighted. 4 2s. And 4 is a real strong Capricornian energy of being solid, right? Solid as a rock in your own frequency. I like this. All right, let's get another one. And then we're going to clarify these tarot messages. I like it. Partnering up. This is how you're responding to other people. How you're listening with receptivity. We have 2 more, which I am doing 3 for most signs here. You're breaking some sort of pattern here. We have endless cycles, 2323, which is 5. We start out with 5 of swords here and the overall general energy. I think you're learning from any kind of resistance. And there's a truth that you're gaining here. I think the thing is that you're living life for yourself, but you're doing it in relationship to other people, but you're honoring yourself along the way. I think you're making profound changes around breaking pattern in the way you communicate and move through the world. Okay. Then we have the big break. An opportunity, help, extra cash, or other support is coming your way, Capricorn. So keep going and have fun. Have fun. They want me to underline. I just saw underline 3 times. Have fun. Are you having fun when performing your tasks? It's that whole adage of chop wood, carry water. Can you be happy in the mundane? Can you find a sense of presence and empowerment in anything and everything that you do throughout the day? Because when you really are in the moment and you're just doing different mundane things, you can actually experience a lot. That's why my meditation sometimes is doing the dishes, mopping the floors, vacuuming. There's something very satisfying about that. The most tremendous success comes from passion. All efforts will be rewarded big time. Yeah. Some of you are going into a timeline right now where there's a lot of changes and you're doing a lot of energetic refinement and readjustments based on how you're responding. And despite any kind of friction, I think you're learning from it. And you have a big break coming in soon. I think the whole thing I'm seeing here is when it comes to your path, stay open and try to release control. All right. Okay. Let's now deepen. Yeah. I'm going to look at this 5 of Swords. I think you're choosing to do life differently. It's really beautiful. Because you're walking through a portal. And a portal to your highest timeline where you're rebuilding, especially how you move through the world. 5 of Swords. We have, divine timing. The Wheel. These are destined changes. Don't fight change. And keep your heart open along the way. Queen of Cups. The Wheel. The Tower. Wow. So some heavy forces you're under. It's almost like you're kind of on guard because there's so much influx and changing from day to day for you. It could just be overwhelming at times. Everything that you take on, everything that you're trying to pursue, everything you're trying, all your passions, right? Everything you're trying to build. Just know that you have divine help, okay? There are divine forces that are underpinning your path in November. And your job is to just soften and keep your heart open and practice unconditional love. All right. And you don't need to have your guard up. You have a powerful, okay, I'm taking down a layer. I don't want to, a layer of armoring. Okay. Because this, I see the 5 of Swords as armoring on guard, right? What is that? I always think of the Princess Bride. You killed my father. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. I love that line in Princess Bride. But I see him, he's the one who's he's got a beef, right? He's got a vendetta. And that's so scorpionic. I think maybe if you've had a vendetta against someone or something in the past, it's like you're like, you know what? I don't have no beef with nobody, right? Like I said. And when there is friction, as uncomfortable as it is, you're actually leaning into responding to it from a place of love rather than, Inigo Montoya. Am I saying his name right? This is facing strife, not from this, oh my God, everything's going to end, holy crap, hang on, right? Because that's the Tower. You're having a beautiful spiritual awakening. This is destined. What you're going through right now, this is meant to happen, okay? Destined spiritual awakening. Capricorn is not the same. And even people may be looking at you like, dude, girl, what's happening here, And you're like, I don't even know, But you're starting to unpack it more and more as each day goes by. If you feel like you're an alien in your own body, it's because you're raising your frequency and you're responding to life differently. You're softening inside. And it's scary sometimes, right? But you're ready for this. You were made for this level of elevation. Let's look at the world. Whew. You need to take deep breaths. You need to breathe more. I'm getting that like breathe. I actually I have to be careful because I'm talking to a Illuminated Collective now on the channel membership, and I recommended a breathwork playlist. It's on Spotify. But I would suggest to you, if you're not doing breathwork on the daily, it's important. But you need to know that it's important that you know how to do it. So I'll try to, I'll link it, okay? I'm going to link it for you all who are not members of the channel as helpful guidance because I'm feeling like you have anxiety. Some of you, it's like you're aware of this, but it's when anxiety hits, know that sometimes the Queen of Cups is an empath and they absorb, okay? So you might have a hard time with absorbing other people's energies and then you feeling a certain way and it's not even your own energy. So be careful with boundaries, okay? Where you can really hold empathy and compassion for other people when in conflict, but don't take on their energy, okay? That's something maybe you're learning how to do. Because you are ending a cycle here where there's been a lot of twists and turns and you're, Inigo Montoya, who do I need to fight today? And Spirit's like, okay, maybe you had to do that, okay, a lot this past cycle, but let's not do that no more. Okay. Let's soften. Let's see the good in everything going on. And if it's not the, on guard, being prepared for battle, this is just a need to really walk away from what doesn't serve you in your own routine, in your own choices, in your own habits, in your own behaviors. If you want to make it about yourself and not others. Okay, because I always like to read for both self and other in this channel, on this channel. Ooh, I like this. This is very balanced energy. How very Taurian of you. We have the Hierophant, Nine of Cups, and the Page of Pentacles. So you're leaning into you and your values. I think you're deeply committed to personal fulfillment and keeping that level. You're keeping your own, this is like holding steady in practicing what you preach and actually finding the little pockets of joy every day and being open. There's new plans being made. I think some of you are really opening up into some sort of partnership. And while there may have been there's been some strife and some worry, you're really, it's every time there's friction, it's an opportunity. If you are in safe, supported love, this is for people who are in safe, supported love. I'm talking to you people who are in partnership and you do have problems sometimes and you get concerned and worried, but overall you get the vibe that this is worth pursuing. This is a healthy person for me. We're actually doing the work. I'm only speaking to you. Okay. If you do the work in connection and you have enough independence and you're also spending time together, quality time together. And when you have disagreements or misunderstandings. I feel like you're learning how to incorporate a new way of being. You're applying principles, wisdom principles to every moment of tension you may have, okay, with you and others of you. This doesn't have nothing to do with a partnership, and it has to do with you being timid about taking on the role of a spiritual leader or guide, okay? But it's like you were made for this. You were made to teach, lead, inspire, right? Because that's the Hierophant. This is the spiritual lesson too. So you've learned a lot of these spiritual lessons through unexpected things, but all on the way, you keep your heart open. You will allow change to occur. You don't control. I'm seeing a lot of self-mastery, Capricorn. I'm liking it a lot. Ten of Swords. I feel like this is an old identity you're shedding, and you're seeing yourself in a new light. Yeah, you've done the work. You're inspired. I'm seeing this. There it is, Justice. I love it. You've worked through a good bit of karma, and you are stepping into a new version. It's taken a lot of work for you, but you are living a passionate life. The challenge is don't let your passions burn you out. Stay steady, stay solid, keep your life in check. Balance, my friends, okay? Balance with whatever you're doing out there, because I see you being lit, spiritually lit, inspired, fulfilled, applying yourself day to day, taking the, life by the reins, having a global perspective for some of you in your worldview, in your work, impacting, right? Making your impact. This is a brand new you. You've done a lot of work to come into alignment, karmically speaking, right? There's a lot of poetic justice in who you've become. Yeah, a lot of people underestimated who you are now, who you used to be. Take a look. Take a look. Maybe in the past you were pushing against life, but now you've softened, and everything softens around you. Ace of Wands, divinely inspired. Some of you are actually switching from one project and into another, and it's beautiful. Huge transformation for you. Death, major scorpionic transformation and change for you, Capricorn, in November. This is powerful. I'm glad I waited. I'm reading on the 1111 portal for a reason, because you are lit. This is a cup of abundance, okay? Ace of Cups. A lot of you're calling in. Yeah, what a juxtaposition. You're cleaning up fear of catastrophe. I think that's hard too. You know how hard it is sometimes to keep your heart open when you're afraid? But it's so beautiful. It's the most powerful shift you can have or hold in any moment in your life, is to keep your heart open, even in an ending. And you're showing me that it's the end of who you once were. And that means people have left, ways of being have left. You've broken pattern completely. Ten of Swords. You're saying this Ten of Swords for you, though. What lies in ruin, right? You being stabbed in the back multiple times by multiple people. It served you. It served you. Look at how inspired you are. Look at how much work you've done. This is beautiful alchemy. Yep. It's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. You're saying it's all worth it. It's all worth it. We have the Ten of Swords. Now I'm getting hot. I'm getting a heat surge. And I'm calling them surges. These are not hot flashes, people. If you're getting them, it's normal, okay? Ten of Swords. Golly, you are metabolizing the pain, the fear, the doubts. You're letting it all go. This is a big karmic release for you, Capricorn. Letting it all go, rebuilding your body, mind, and spirit. There are new people coming in or have recently come in. You've got a new big beginning in love and a new soul partnership. And it is worth every bit of growth, every bit of karmic digging, right? This is the karmic trenches, my friends. He has a shovel and he's looking back going, look at the fruits of my labor. I have faced so many endings. Most of all, who I once was. You know how to release what needs to be released, and you know how to deepen into what needs to be deepened. This is beautiful. I love this reading for you. Letting go of control is the ultimate superpower in this world, because it aligns you with soul power, source power is soul power. As the wind picks up outside, it's very cold here in New England today. Feeling that first snap of winter. This hit my hands. I'm putting it back to the bottom. The moon in reverse. That all hit my hand. I can't take that. Sorry about that. That was my fault. But this is you piercing through the veil, finding clarity on the path. It'll probably come back out. Something like it will. Yeah. You've learned from your wounds. You've learned from the scars. This is when we heal our scars and we don't hang on to the hurt anymore. And we don't let that create a wall between us and other people or us and ourselves. There's a lot of self-love. You're coming out of illusion, a lot of you, and the lessons or the disillusionment, right, of people, places, and things. Coming out of that wounded warrior energy. 9 of Wands. Don't hold on to that. Doesn't have to be who you are anymore. King of Wands. Lit. Okay? I'll tell you what. This is passionate leadership if I've ever seen it. Strength. Wow. Told you. Maybe at times you didn't think you were strong enough. Because maybe, it took you a long time to break this cycle. But when you elevate and you learn the spiritual lesson or lessons of betrayal, of endings, there's something you're walking into that's so beautiful. But I think what's more powerful for you is that you are not faltering or wavering in your sense of self, in your own embodiment of your spiritual fire. And it's powerful. Like this is like 100% deepest ego deaths you've gone through. And you're wrapping up the cycle. And I just got the massive goosebumps. Capricorn, it's big reading. I'm glad you tuned into this. I let this be your confirmation that you are honoring your life path. You're honoring your body. You're honoring your body, your mind, and your soul, right? You are wholly divine and sacred. And you have rebuilt yourself, or you're in the process of closing out a cycle where it all led to that new you. Let's get a healing waters. For we are in Scorpio season. And I'm using this deck for the collective. So proud of you all. It's brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. This is peeking out. I feel like this is one of the lessons you've learned. Let it go. Oh, wow. Let it all go. Doesn't it feel good? The card says, release the past. Forgive, soften, and move forward, my friends. Look at the seas parting. That's real power, right? Honoring your emotions. And then where are you walking toward? Mother of the salt waters, passion, wild love. Open your heart and let love in. A lot of you have a new beginning. You have a new soulmate coming in after this karmic ending. You could be calling someone in or have called someone in that is very strong in their fire, potentially in the top 3 Leo placement. And they've gone through their own woundedness as well. Don't hold back from love, okay? And if it's not about a partner alongside you along this journey, and/or this is your journey to your own divine empowerment and alignment with your spiritual core, having learned the lessons. This is a beautiful reading. Let it go. Let the past go. Let the past you go. Incorporate it. Absorb it. I was watching, I think it's called Pluribus. It's this new show. I was a huge fan of Breaking Bad back in the day. And the creator of Breaking Bad is now created a new show on Apple. And it really blew my mind because it's like if this frequency hit the planet and everyone became one. and we could download every memory, it's like we became a whole, it's like when you think of a telepathic community, what our ancient ancestors were, like the, Aboriginal people, they could all communicate. So what happened to one happened to all. And so they couldn't hurt other people. They couldn't hurt, each other because they were one unit as a tribe. And that show's kind of blowing my mind because I'm like, wow, is this what it's like? To live from a collective mindset. But the reason why I bring this up, because they were showing me that this whole creative storyline around the show is showing us that everything is stored in the Akash, and that this old version of you will carry it with you, right? As a talisman of growth. It's like, you can maybe even liken it, if you want to, create a talisman around this. You have literally shed your skin. Okay. And you might want to create either a poem or have a physical object to exemplify and honor the path you've been on, because this is huge. This is probably one of the deepest, like, the old you is gone, Capricorn energies I've ever seen in a reading. So powerful. But yeah, I was thinking about that a lot because I was watching that show recently. It's mind-blowing if you're curious about what it would be to have a collective awakening, but not the way you think it would be, because there's one person who it didn't infect, and she's really like, her anger actually is affecting the vibration of the whole. Fascinating. Tell me what you all think about the show if you've watched it. It's fascinating. It's on Apple TV. Anyway, let's read Mother of the Salt Waters. And you're showing up in this Queen of Cups energy, this destined path of becoming. Mother of the Salt Waters is with you. Let's see this. The ocean's unknowable, untamable, vast beauty has beguiled humans since time began, and numerous deities are associated with her salt waters. The ocean is a symbol of the feminine mysteries, love, beauty, and great passion. This card delivers with it a message of love as deep as the ocean and passion as intense as the deepest blue sea. It is an invitation to welcome the feminine qualities within you and to really let yourself dream. It's an invitation to see the beauty all around you and to let love in. It could indicate that great love is on the horizon or that a new passion is drawing near. The Mother of the Salt Waters could be a sign that new love or new relationships are about to enter your life, or they're already here. Perhaps you're being called to open your heart and be even more embracing and loving. If you're facing conflict, how can you soften your heart while remaining true to yourself? How can you embrace the people in your life? How can you trust more and welcome the holding and support? It's interesting too. Before I came to this reading, I was reading Fadak Sudik. I don't know if that's her handle, but she wrote that we all need to be better at receivership. So maybe that might be the new you. Are you allowing yourself to receive as much as you give? How can you let more love into your life, Capricorn? Wow, a lot of food for thought for November. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and happy 11/11 portal. Take care. Namaste.